Episode 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Pressure's
So,
on you to do the intro here.
what?
There you go.
I know.
Pressure's on you
I
to
know.
do the intro.
I'm in the centre now. So guys, welcome back. It is episode 3 of the Face Off podcast, or Face Off podcast, the Face Off podcast.
Whatever you decide.
Yeah. So we're here with Reece McEwan, MMA fighter. So me and David are going to ask him a few questions, get a bit of a conversation going. So nice to have you in, Reece.
Lovely to be here.
So we're just going to get started. I'm just going to bring up a couple of topics and stuff. So the first one, obviously the most common one, just to kind of get a bit of background. How did you first get into fighting? When was it? That sort of thing.
Sure. I really got started into it because I watched it on TV.
Yeah. Who was the first kind of?
Chuck Liddell.
Right. Aye.
Chuck Liddell and Andy Couture were the people that I thought were invincible in the UFC when I was watching it.
Yeah.
But when I started watching the UFC, I was actually watching years before. So I was watching old fights. Old
Anderson Silva and all them sort of people.
Yeah.
Aye.
So I was watching it and I was thinking I could be good at this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want to.
Because they were all old, like the guys that were in it, like the top of them, because it was a young sport, but it was people that had maybe had fight experience before or whatever that had went into it.
Yeah, like you get wrestlers that are going to try MMA or boxers trying MMA, and it was a wild.
Yeah.
So that's what you saw and you just kind of wanted to see if you could do that?
Well, yeah, I thought, I was always the smallest and the weakest and the youngest in anything that I'd done.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that there was weight classes there, so I thought if there's weight classes, I'll be fighting or I'll be competing against people my size, and I won't be getting out strength or outpowered by bigger and stronger people. So that was attractive to me as well.
Yeah, I know that's definitely a thing. So you're bantamweight. So for the viewers and listeners watching, what weight is that?
It's 61 kilograms or 135 pounds.
Okay, cool. So what's your like walking about weight?
150 to 155 pounds.
Right. Okay.
So.
Aye. Okay. Right. So obviously you got into fighting from watching stuff, but when was your first when did you first get punched in the face?
First get punched in the face, it would have been at the Griphouse. I can't even remember the first time. I think see when you start training, like everyone's kind of nice to you, so they don't really they don't really like
Go full force on you?
go full force on you, so I can't actually think of the first time.
The first proper spark you got,
I remember it wouldn't be the first time I got hit in the face, but I remember I got hit off somebody who was a lot bigger, and I was like a left hook, and I just went, ow. I was like, I shouldn't react like this, but that was sore.
Yeah. I can remember the first time I got punched in the face. It was primary 5.
Nice.
I stole some boy's basketball and he just punched me in the face. Aye. So cool story. Good interjection from me.
Yeah, actually, not getting punched in the face. I got hit with a skateboard when I was 8, 7 or 8.
Was it intentionally?
Yeah, the guy was like, I was like, oh, they were playing in their skateboards. I was like, oh, I don't have one. He's like, alright, cool. Just hit me with it. I was like, well, that's still don't have a skateboard though.
But it's a similar thing, I guess, isn't it? A similar feeling. I remember the guy, he ended up getting a tag and all that. He's probably watching this and he's going to beat me up again. But basically, we were actually pals in primary school. I remember in primary school, he was a wee guy, and I battered him on the bus on the way home.
Let's get on with this.
And then he was getting. Then we got into high school, and he hit puberty, and I hadn't hit puberty yet. And he was this big guy, a big spade hands, and me, him, and Kieran were walking back from school, and he was making fun of me or whatever, and I was like, Martin, shut up. And then we walked away.
Let's edit that.
We read it that part.
Yeah,
I was like, and then I was like, actually, so I started running over towards him because we went to both go to our different houses, and I shouted his name, and then ran towards him, and next thing I know, I'm on the floor, and I'm like, my face is pure gushing of blood. And I'm like, what the fuck what just happened? And then I went home to my mum. She said, what happened? I was like, I don't know, I just fell and hurt my face. And that was the first time I was like, I cannot fight. Even though you watch stuff, you're like, you think you can fight, but you definitely just can't.
Well, like, see when you first start sparring, you're like, I'm going to be like Anders yourself, like in your head and shuffling your feet,
and then you
just get melted.
100%. It just comes with practice, doesn't it?
When I was watching some stuff on yourself, actually, you were saying that one time when you were a wee bit younger, you got attacked, and your friends kind of jumped in for you, and then you want to kind of learn to defend yourself in case that situation happened again. Is that something that you've taken for going to MMA so you can just defend yourself?
So it was like I said, like there was two. I was always small, so I was like 5'1", and my whole year of school went out camping, place in Kilmacombe, and obviously these two kind of Neds were like, he's a wee guy, I'm going to pick on him, and they came up to me and they were like, who are you looking at? And I'm like, honestly, I just want the ground to swallow me up. I'm like, please don't hurt me. Honestly, I'm like submissive completely.
Yeah.
So my friends jump in for me, and then I run away, like with the friends that come with me. And I always promised myself that if somebody came up to me and done that to me,
you would be able
I don't even care about winning the fight. At least I'd have the courage and the confidence to be like, look, I wasn't staring at you. What is your deal?
Yeah.
And if somebody came up to me and said that now, I know I would be able to defend myself physically, but I would have the confidence to stand up and not cower away and be scared.
Yeah.
So it's a massive thing for me.
Yeah, I think that is a big point, because especially because it was actually one of my topics about like the whole kind of stigma behind MMA fighters and even just fighters in general being kind of thuggish and they're just pure angry people, when in actual fact potentially one of the catalysts to you becoming a fighter was because you were in an unfortunate situation you just want to be more confident in, and then that's how you ended up getting into it.
Of course, a lot of people, it's quite common for people to say to me they've not known me for years, or even if they've known me since I was a young person, like my family especially, they're like, this is just something that I didn't expect you to do. I'm like, why? They're like, well, you're a nice person. I'm like, but that's got nothing to do with sport.
It's a sport.
If you can get, if you flip that on the other side, you'll get people who are really angry, really temperamental, and they'll come and train, and it'll be like a reality check, and it'll actually bring them down a little bit.
I've definitely
escape for them.
I've definitely noticed that.
And it's like not an ego check, but they're like, wow, I can't. There's been people that's came in the gym and we've just done jiu-jitsu with them, and they're like, you're like 3 stone lighter than me, and you're throwing me about. It's like an ego check. Good and bad.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Like, to go on a wee bit further from that, actually, obviously we're speaking off air as well, and I said I was much more into boxing. And when I met some boxers and stuff, I realised they were some of the nicest people that I'd ever met, quite honestly. And do you think that that's a culture within like combat sports that, let's say, if you go to the gym or whatever, the people are really welcoming? You even said yourself that if you're going get in with somebody that's maybe not as experienced, you're not going to hit them as hard and all that, help them through it and stuff. Do you think that's a culture and a good thing about the sport?
Yeah, it's very welcoming, very respectful. Like I said, if somebody new comes in the gym, it's about welcoming them, make them have a good positive experience, rather than putting your best skills out there for them to show.
That's you just hyping yourself up basically. Like if you go in and go 100% with someone,
of course.
What does that really say?
It's just a bully. It's just an ego
thing.
It's a bully,
They're going to walk at you. If you walk in the gym for the first time, it's very intimidating, whether it be for a fitness class or for a striking class or whatever. It's a scary thing to do. Walking through that door for the first time is the hardest part of starting your journey. The last thing you need is somebody putting you off and hurting you and making you feel like you're not welcome. So martial arts are very respected and welcoming sport.
Yeah, I definitely think it definitely is a respect, because it takes a lot to, especially when you go into like sparring. Like obviously you get the respect to come to class, but when you actually get in the ring and you start sparring, it takes a level of respect from someone to go, fair play to you for actually getting in the ring, because a lot of the time people can't do that.
As well, like sparring is it's got a lot of negative connotations. People think it's a fight, but all it is when you train. The
bag doesn't hit you back.
When you train, you're just trying to apply what you're doing. So why should it be negative and why should it be high intensity? You train with Guy a lot. Me and Guy, when we spar, we probably don't go above 20% in our power, but we just don't stop the whole down. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to apply what we're in upper work rate, rather than try to melt each other. Because probably die if Guy went 100%.
I noticed that like yesterday. Obviously I was sparring with him, and I went up like probably a good 10%, maybe even more, and I started to get into the rhythm of it, because we start off with the hands, and because I had a bit of a boxing background, a couple of fights, I do alright with the hands, and then all of a sudden we go into the leg kicks, still alright. As soon as we come from here up to the head, I'm gubbed. Like I'm just thinking about the next kick coming, and if I up at a gear, he ups at a gear, I'm like, just stay where you were. I'm alright being with it.
Your first gear and my fifth gear is a pretty
good
balance.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny.
See, like touching on that then, see when you're actually in a fight, obviously you're saying that you're thinking about the next move for your opponent. Obviously you need to think about the next move, but if you're scared, that's going to affect you negatively. See, when you're in there, are you focusing more, or when you're approaching a fight, are you just focusing more on yourself and your strengths rather than your opponents?
Of course, like if you see the
aggressor,
see when you're in a competition and you're reacting and you're thinking about them, you've lost. You might win the fight stuff, but you still lost because you're not focusing on your skills. So you need to, and if you can't give the reaction that you should, then that's when you go into the gym and you train it and you work on it. So for sure, you're always focused on yourself.
So obviously, like this is one of the next points was dealing with like soreness. So obviously, yesterday I was saying I sparred with Guy. I've got like marks all over, bruises all over me, and I'm like limping up the stairs this morning. So like, how do you deal with soreness?
Like, still get it?
You get it to an extent because you're still giving yourself a workout, but you get conditioned to it. And to be honest, an honest answer is you just learn to deal with it.
You toughen up a bit.
You're like, well, I'm sore, but I still need to train, so I need to get on with it. It's your first. I was saying to you, like your first year of training, you get all these injuries, and you feel the sorest the most. But then your body gets conditioned to it. You get physically stronger. And you just get on with it.
I mean, look at those Buddhist monk guys. They just kick bricks and trees, and they don't care. They've been conditioned to it, obviously.
I know, and it's perspective as well. Because when you go into the gym and say you're like, oh, I've got a sore finger. One of my a lot of people, sore finger. But there's a lot of people in the gym with broken bones. And you're like, right, in the grand scale of things, my finger's actually.
Definitely. That's like obviously. Seeing like Thailand, as I was sparring yesterday, the guy said something about in Thailand they don't realise. I know you said you only go 20%, but it's probably more than that. Because the Thai guys, they don't actually spar. They're like surprised when the Westerners come over and they're like, "Why are you sparring so hard?"
That's right,
and then obviously that was bringing me on to my next point of like the kind of long term effects of it, because if you're going to be sparring and the kind of MMA side of things, if you are going to be doing even any contact sport for a long period of time, what benefits, not negative connotations, is that going to give you in terms of like your mental health, or whatever?
Of course. Like if a lot of the damage that you take isn't going to be in the fight, to be honest. Because the fight is well, just now amateur it's either 9 minutes or professional it's 15. 25 if you're in the high-end title fights. When I say 25, it's not a long time. You're talking in a typical training day, I'm doing like 3 hours. So the damage that I can take over 3 hours is probably more than 3-4 fights sometimes. So you need to like be intelligent and realise that I'm not in this gym to get head trauma. I'm not in this gym to. If something's sore, be like, look, can you just avoid my leg today because I don't want to be sore for next week. So it's about
working around it. See, in terms of being intelligent with it though, like do you have days where you up it to where like heavy sparring day and then a light sparring day and that sort of thing? I assume like so that you're not like shocked when you go into the fight and you're just being like play sparring and then all of a sudden, oh, I forgot what that felt like, sort of thing.
Definitely, there's like train to react. And it's a good balance. So if you have one heavy hard sparring session a week, you're getting your reaction. You're getting it's like that kind of fight feeling. But if you can't go 100% every day, you'll burn out. And your career will be very short. So percentage wise, you're just like going bit for bit. If you're having a really hard day on the Sunday, like Monday maybe go 50%, and then you can go back up in the saying fitness wise, it's like you kind of break it down to like high, moderate and light days. It's just so you can get good training sessions throughout the week, as opposed to being high. Oh, I need to take 5 days off.
Because obviously you're saying about it being like different days. Because you get different days, do you structure your nutrition around those things? Like, do you have like higher carbs the day that you're going, that sort of thing?
Yeah, you feel your session. So if I'm not, I always refer to like the week before the last like 4 or 5 days before the fight. I do nothing really. I rest, so I don't need that much carbs. Carbs to me is energy. I don't need energy. I just need to drive to the gym, drive back, lie in my bed and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
So why do I need carbs? So throw that on the other side. If I've got a really heavy day, then you're talking like 50, 60, 70% of my diet that day is going to be carbs. I'm going to burn it off anyway. So
yeah.
If you think about it as well, if you're training for a fight, you aren't going to want to go into week 1 of training camp going 100%. You're going to want to kind of gradually up it as well, so that when fight day comes, you're in peak condition, you're at 100%. Because like you hear a lot of stories about fighters that 3 weeks before fight day, they're doing people in sparring. A week before they've burnt themselves out, and then when they go into their fight, they're not at 100%. How important is it to structure it in a way so that when you go in there on fight night, you're firing all cylinders?
It's really good for you. It's good to do it yourself, because you feel your body peaking. You feel like I'm in tip-top shape. It's good to have coaches as well. Structure like your strength and conditioning and be like, you're going to peak in this week. Second week before the fight, you're probably going to be tired, so this is how we're going to do our session. It's good to have coaches and people above you, and even you talk about, I'm a fighter at heart, so there's a few times my teammates are like, just take the day off, and I'm like, no, I need to keep going, and I'm like a zombie getting through sessions. Sometimes it's good to have someone who's going like ahead of you and saying like just take that session off.
Who would that be for you then? Who would that be in the gym that would turn around and go, listen Reece, get yourself a wee break here?
I don't know if maybe my coaches are just sick of it. Maybe they're like my coaches will maybe say like, I think they've said to me in the past, you need to like just take the night off, but I'm like, no, I need to train, and they're just like, look, he's going to train anyway.
But they've gave up.
It's not more so them butting in, because they trust that if I always know that I've got a wee tiny bit left and I can push through that session. But if I say to like my coaches and look, I'm going to take tonight off, is that alright? And they're like, and they say, yeah, I agree with you, then I know I'm making the right decision. But if they go, okay, tonight's just going to be light anyway, then I'll just train.
There's more of a group decision then, basically.
I'm not looking for a way out. I'm just looking for them to tell me like how the session's going to be. If it's a smart decision. And if it is, then right, okay, that'll feel a wee bit better. Because
I guess you know in yourself how you're feeling and all that sort of stuff. Like, and I guess the more you do it, the more kind of in tune with your body you get and that sort of thing. Like the more, because that was obviously a point we didn't necessarily touch on. We're talking about peak condition, and David touched on the whole thing about 3 weeks before you're knocking people out in sparring and all that sort of stuff. But then the thing that happens not long after that is the weight cut. So the weight cut is something in the press recently has been getting pelters because
all combat sports.
So the argument is, and I'm inclined to kind of agree with it, the argument is that you should be round about your weight, maybe only cutting a few pounds, never mind. There's fighters cut like, I don't know, like
20 plus pounds.
Like ridiculous amounts, and then they can barely walk onto the scales. It's and then then from that state you're meant to then be in peak condition to fight the next day. That doesn't make sense.
No, I agree with you, and it's like a necessary evil right now, because like if my weight cut's like 20 pounds over 6 weeks, that's actually pretty low and pretty reasonable for MMA. Like my weight cuts are relatively easy if you look on
but
it.
What do you think it would be like? Maybe 10 to 12 pounds, and then like 2 days before it's water, so it's then that's the easy part.
So let's say for me, I would say about I will diet, I don't know the percentage here, but 70% off, and then 30% I will work up, so I can get back up to the weight that I need to be, or that my body's in prime condition. But it's one of those ones that if I fought the division above at 66, I can make that in a matter of weeks. Whereas it'll be someone who will have the height, the reach, they'll go into the fight about 75 kilograms, which is higher than my walk around weight, by almost half a stone. So the advantages are going to be way in their favour. But whereas again, I do agree with you that why should you cut all this weight and then you'd expect it to compete at your best 24 hours after? So many people that their performances are ruined because they're like, oh, the weight cut was bad. And seeing that time, even if it's an easy weight cut, your focus for 24 hours is to, I need to get my body back.
Yeah,
I
not
need to get my hydration back.
Rather than just focusing on, right, what's my plan? You can barely think straight. I remember, obviously, because McGregor's so big in the whole MMA scene, I remember there was 1 or 2 fights where he was at 45. I think there was one against Aldo, and there was one other one in particular. Might have been Mendes, and he's absolute skeleton, and then he ends up, he's wearing these sunglasses, and he looks horrendous. And Kavanagh then just says something like, I don't want to ever see him fight that, and then obviously then went up after that.
Yeah.
So
the thing is as well, I fought at 57 kilos once, and at the time the weight cut was phenomenal. In terms of weight cuts, like the weight came off me, the water cut was fantastic. But seeing I look back at pictures, I'm like, oh my, look at my actual body.
Yeah.
It's my face is sunk right in. My teeth look massive. My eyes are massive. Because I don't realise it, but I'm obviously shattered and worn down.
Yeah.
My body fat's like 1%. And I'm like, I fought really well. I won the fight by knockout. Again, my rehydration was brilliant and stuff. But then I'm like, why should I put my body through that?
Yeah.
And that eventually led the decision to be like, I don't need. Because the fight becomes a weight. I love to tell the story that the weight cut was great. But let's say I had an injury or something, that weight cut would have been horrific. And that's what a lot of people are focused on sometimes. Like, no, I just need to get this weight off, or the weight's not coming off, and it becomes about the weight rather than just train. Like, just enjoy your training.
What would the solution to that be then? Because I've seen in the UFC a lot of fighters come out and say that there should be more weight categories. Dana White has came out and says as long as he's in charge, that won't be happening within the UFC. But we are seeing instances in that realm of MMA, like one that comes to mind is Darren Till. There was like a documentary on him, and he lost like his vision and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty serious. Some fighters have lost their lives through it as well. Like, what do you think? Do you think that there should be more weight categories, or?
There's 2 ways.
It's hard to say, but
it's hard. This is so hypocritical for me to comment on, because I'm like, you shouldn't cut weight, and then I'm away cutting weight.
Yeah.
You need to, because that's what's happening.
And then again, you look on it from a non-biased view. Like when I'll weigh in at 61, so will my opponent. See when we fight, the chances are we're probably both going to be at 67.
Yeah.
He might be, or give or take. So he's maximum will be 70, lowest he'll be 65. Majority of people probably at 67. So we're actually the same weight.
Yeah.
We're probably cutting the same weight. We're going to be the same weight in there. So why don't we just fight at 67?
Yeah.
But the problem is you get people who, let's say, I can't even think of a perfect example, but let's say Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee said he fought 155, and by the time he weighed in, by the time he fought, he was 185. So he's put on 30 pounds.
Well,
so if I fight 135, if somebody goes into the cage and fights me with a 15-pound advantage, I'm like, I didn't cut weight, and you've just got this advantage on me. So it is mental. I don't know if there's a way to potentially like look at the water levels in someone or something like that, so that they have to be a certain level of hydrated. I don't know. Obviously, they've thought about it. An organisation in Asia called One FC, One Championship. I can't remember.
I know.
They do hydration tests. So what they essentially do is, I fight at 135. If I fought in one, I'd fight at 145. But we would get measured. We would get weighed in not only by our weight, but how hydrated we are. And if you make weight but fail your hydration test, you need to re-weigh in to pass your hydration test. So essentially, everybody moves up a weight class, and everybody fights at a natural category. Which, you know what? That's what everyone's doing.
Do you think that's where it'll go?
I don't know how they'll work it out. I don't know, because there is such a big jump between weight classes. Like for me, there's 125, 35, 45. £10 to me is massive. Whereas there's divisions where there's £15 in between. And again, that might not seem big to like people watching, but see £10 in competition.
Because everyone, other than obviously the heavyweights, everyone's pretty lean. So like anything else extra they've got on them is muscle mass, and then that's extra power and stuff like that they've got on them. Obviously, muscle doesn't always mean more power. It doesn't always transfer. Sometimes people are just heavy hitters and stuff, but. It definitely is an advantage. So it's a tough one to call. Like
there was a study as well that was like it didn't have that many numbers on it, but they basically researched the weights So in California, you need to weigh in on fight day. So they see everybody's weights, and the fighter who weighed the less actually won the most. So it was like a research to show that weight cutting's actually not serving the advantage that people think it would serve.
Yeah.
How would your typical weigh-in be then? Like, what would be your ritual like in the week before and then the actual weigh-in?
So the week before you start drinking like lots of water. I drink about 28 litres of water across like 4 days.
Yeah.
And
then cut it off.
Yeah, cut it off. So you try and minimise your sodium, your salt, your carbs, so all the water
flushes out.
Yes, water flushes out, and you probably I propose about 3 kilograms by doing that, and then whatever I've got left, I'll be in a sauna, a hot bath, and sweat the rest of the weight off, and then make weight.
Is it same day that you do it as well?
The day before.
The day before.
The way it typically works out is I weigh in about between 10 and 12 on the Friday, and then I fight about 10 o'clock, about 36 hours later. So
I know there's some competitions, and getting back to boxing obviously, because that's kind of more of what I know, but in the amateur game, if there's a tournament spread across a weekend, they'll weigh in, let's say, day of fight, and the next day they need to weigh in again if they get through, which is...
So you can't go party.
You can't really even go, do you know?
I know.
Which is pretty alarming, that as well.
I know.
A lot of fights are like that, and a lot of jiu-jitsu competitions and wrestling stuff, and like I said, again, people will cut, see if they want to cut weight, they'll cut weight.
So
they'll find a way.
They'll find a way.
Which is scary.
I know.
Sometimes.
So let's go on to a wee bit more, less about the weight thing, more about like your fights and like kind of where you're going and all that sort of stuff. So we'll start with the belt. So you're defending that in 8 weeks.
8 weeks, the 18th of May.
On top, where's that?
On top, that's
Onyx
in Linwood.
So. Alright, cool.
You got an opponent? Like
I think so, maybe. I'm not really sure. So I just fought last Saturday there, but there was on top had a show the week before that, and I was like watching like the fights and the interviews, and one guy was like, "Oh, I think I should get a title shot," and I was like, "Whatever, I'll fight anyone." But he's always been like he's like my weight division. And then I came off that fight, fresh, no injuries and stuff. I was like, I want to fight as soon as possible. So on top always have like it's always hard to get me a fight for some reason. Alright, I don't know why. I would think that people might want to fight because that's what we do. And I was like, you know what? Let's just save this matchmaking. He said he wants a title shot. Give him a title shot and I'll fight him.
Really?
So the fight, because I was like, otherwise it can be, you can wait weeks upon weeks. And I've had to fight kickboxing because I've not had any fights. Like, nobody's fought me, so I was like, this just saves all this hassle. He wants one. I want to fight right now, so let's just fight. And so the fight's been offered to him, and I hope he accepts it, and if he doesn't, then we're going to do another podcast and I'll call him. What's his name?
That's a great attitude to have though, to actually want to get in there and fight, because a lot of the time you just see people hiding. Once they get the belt, maybe they try and find the easy way to try and keep it and stuff. But you're of the attitude of let's just do this, basically.
Like the amateur seems like you need to learn how to fight, you need to get your experience. The last guy I fought had like 70 odd fights, right? But in total, all the guys that I fought, if you add up their records, they're talking about 140 fights. I've had 10. So like I'm thrown in there, I'm going in against guys from all over the world, like Japan, Ireland, England, Scotland. I'll fight in kickboxing, make me feel uncomfortable, put me in against different styles, isn't much experience, and then I faced what I can. I don't care about, don't get me wrong, winning all the time is amazing, right? But I don't care about, I'm 10-0, but who have you fought? Like, right, okay, I've had 10 fights, won 9, lost 1, but I've faced a lot of adversity and I've faced a lot of experienced guys, and what more can I ask for? So.
But that's the thing, because like MMA, kind of comparing MMA to boxing, it's mental how much, like there's basically no one has a zero record. Well, Khabib, that's about it, in terms of like who he's actually fought and all that sort of stuff. But why is that? It's because there's so many different variables that can happen if you're a good.
I think it was also down to Mayweather as well, and the whole culture that he started in boxing. Like a lot about his brand was the whole thing. If you do go back historically in boxing, like Muhammad Ali had 5 losses in his record, but was able to avenge every single person that actually beat him.
That he done.
As well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's more of a modern thing.
Potentially.
But I do get what you're saying. There is a lot of variables
truth in that. And then you look at what Anderson Silva, that sort of stuff. He just totally like went downhill after Weidman.
BJ Penn.
Yeah.
Like, his record's like 16 and 14 now.
Yeah.
And he's considered one of the greatest fighters ever.
Aye.
And it's actually a shame because you're like, your record doesn't justify what you do.
Yeah.
What you done.
Yeah.
But I think, do you know what's a big thing for that's been open to me? See when McGregor lost to Diaz that first fight?
Yeah.
And he went, yep, I lost. I talked a lot, and I'll continue to talk a lot. He done it. I'll get him back in the rematch.
Yeah.
He came back. He made the adjustments. He worked his butt. Obviously, everybody works and trains their butt off.
Yeah.
But it was just the way he's so vocal. And then when he lost the fight, he was like, "Yeah, I'll still do my interviews. You won the fight. Well done. I'll get you back." And then he came back and he won that fight. I think that really showed people they were like, losses don't actually matter then.
Yeah.
Because it's about how you're going to conduct yourself.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. Well, because then you compare it to Ronda Rousey, lost in dramatic fashion, and then vanished off the face of the earth. But I think it was because she was built up to be this pure undefeatable person, and then all of a sudden the world came crashing down, and she was like, "I'm not undefeatable." And I think she started to believe her own hype.
Yeah, of course.
And
because they were like, "Oh yeah, she'll beat Mayweather,er," and people were like, "Yeah, of course she would."
That was
like, she'll fight Mike Tyson. You're like, "That, yeah, she'd probably win," and people buy into it.
I know that stuff just mental, but like it was a whole coach. That was the whole kind of thing, and so
that was her selling point almost.
Yeah,
that she's like the scariest.
And that's, do you know what, that won her fights because people would go into the fight and like, this is Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And then when Holly Holm was like, beat her.
Kickboxer, yeah, like
she was a world champion in boxing.
Now I bet you, if she got an up and coming female who's probably not that good, I bet you they beat her because they're like, she's not what she's played out to be.
Yeah.
The image.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like there is so many variables, and you've got likes of so when Conor fought Chad Mendes, there was a couple of times it was quite kind of. It was probably the first time you've seen him like eye cut open and all that sort of stuff because of his wrestling skills, and he took that in short notice and things.
And you talk about the weight cut, you look at his physique there, he's just like an old man.
Yeah.
He's so thin and a percentage of himself.
Yeah, so there's just like so many variables. So that kind of brings us back to a wee bit of like your training. So like, see when you train and you do, obviously you get your striking. So you've got your, do you put boxing aside and do just that, and then mix it up with kind of MMA, kickboxing type thing, Muay Thai stuff, and then do you then do that separately, and then more separate full MMA training?
So kind of varies. So like you'll split it into like I'll categorise my striking into Muay Thai because Muay Thai includes everything.
Yeah.
And then you've got your grappling, so your jiu-jitsu, your wrestling, your strength and conditioning, and you train your mind and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like you'll find out wee small categories in there. So like say I'll do Muay Thai classes with a guy, and then like other striking off like Dean because his boxing's really good. So like again, although we're doing like Muay Thai, we are still doing those wee like sub
categories
like,
of
sub categories, and then we'll go to like grappling. So then like my like grappling coach like Ian, he'll coach like wrestling, and then we'll do jiu-jitsu, and then we'll train in the gi. So there's like grappling, and there's like, right, you've got no gi jiu-jitsu, you've got gi. There's Muay Thai, you've got your box.
It's funny how much of a difference that can make. Ideally, like, you get something to pull against and all that sort of stuff.
People are like, oh, I hate the gi because people are just grabbing it and stuff like that. But it makes your, would you believe it or not, by doing jiu-jitsu, it makes your jiu-jitsu better. Yeah. But do you know what's actually good for? See, because you've got clothing on, you get some workout, you get a good sweat on as well. So, but like in terms of the aspects, you just categorise them all, and as long as you're kind of ticking the boxes and getting better than them all, not being ignorant to any sport, then you're going to succeed in MMA.
Well, see, in terms of like, obviously you get the contact part of the sport, so even boils down to jiu-jitsu and all that sort of stuff, but the non-contact side of the sport, like say your conditioning and all that sort of stuff, how do you because you still get sore from that, but from a kind of training background, you can definitely not really get sore from the more you do it. But I I just found it slightly different to be soreness from muscle soreness, because you can condition yourself quite easily to that, but then you're bruised. You're like, that hurts. So like trying to balance those two. Like, how do you? Oh, I'm not putting too much into my weights. Do you focus purely on strength, because you're not really too bothered about, like, I guess, how muscular you are? It's not like hypertrophy stuff that you're wanting to do. It's more focused on like your strength to weight ratio and that sort of thing. So you focus on power movements and that.
So it's good to get a good variety, and you know what? The best thing to do is trial and error.
Yeah.
I've trained for fights when I've done 3 strength and conditioning sessions a week.
Right.
And at the time it was great, but now looking back, I'm like, that was too much.
Yeah.
I used to do 2, and now I only do 1.
Right.
Because the way I kind of look on it, I'm like, I can get what I need to get from that one session and still add in all, because you need to remember, like, the conditioning's brilliant, but how good is conditioning might not win you the fight.
Yeah.
Like, the athlete might win the first round,
yeah,
the technician will probably take over as the fight goes on.
Yeah.
So it's good to get a good mix. In terms of, I've got a strength and conditioning coach, Terence. He trains as well. He trains jiu-jitsu and wrestling, so that's ideal as well. But so he'll take charge of that aspect. And in terms of like minimising how sore I'm not going to go in and do like a heavy leg day, because that's going to make you sore. I'm going to go in and do relative work. So let's say like deadlift, but lots of like power endurance and lots of explosive and stuff that's going to transfer over, rather than let's just build and like,
you end up slow. I seen something on Facebook today, and it was like the tag on Facebook was like, 2 giants look at this knockout or something, and it's just these guys, and they're just, one of them's actually like quite fat, but he's just so like, his traps are like this, just pure roid heads, and they're just like, oh, this and that. They're just so slow, it's unbelievable, and you're just waiting for one of them to like see the punch coming from like 5 miles away and try and move his big neck out the way.
Big to move.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's definitely, the more muscular it doesn't make you a better fighter, and by absolutely no means.
Having that athletic gift, like somebody like Francis Ngannou, don't get me wrong, you need the athleticism.
Oh, he's a different beast though, is he not?
Yeah.
Like he's got the pure fast twitch muscle fibres down and all that sort of stuff. So he's definitely a total animal.
You need to understand what kind of athlete you are as well. Like,
yeah.
McGregor's like that big power, one shot, explosive athlete, where you get something like, just like the Diaz brothers, they'll go for like, see,
they do triathlons and all that sort of stuff.
They'll just keep going. They probably don't have that one punch power.
Yeah, but they can take a punch as well.
They could be fighting since they were like a nappy.
Yeah.
But so you just need to identify what kind of athlete you are, because when it comes to it, if me and you are fighting, maybe. Nah, hopefully not. But and
for your sake,
we've got this.
Definitely for my sake.
And we've got the same technique. We've got the same. We want to get an advantage in everything. Yeah. So if you need to pull that athleticism out of the bag, and then that's what you need. So you want to try and get an advantage on everything. As much as you can anyway. So it's important.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, obviously you're probably still learning what type of fighter you are.
Yeah, of course.
If you look at some are wrestlers, some are strikers, as you were kind of touching on, what would you describe yourself as? What's something you would excel in?
I used to say that I'm like, I'm a grappler and stuff, and I make a joke and say, I'm a grappler, but I've got the same amount of knockouts and submission wins.
Yeah.
So I'm evolving into I'm trying to evolve into an all-round fighter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I don't really have. I know if I take you down, then I'd like to imagine then I've got good top jiu-jitsu. If you take me down, I'd like to imagine that I'm going to defend the takedown to an extent, or if you take me down, then I'll have good jiu-jitsu off my back. I'll have good striking forward and back. I'm trying to be all round. I'm not trying to focus on one. I don't really know what strength I would have, because, like I said, like my fights are changing all the time. My style's changing, so it'd be beautiful to knock everyone out every fight, but it's just the way it is. Yeah,
I think that's what people want to see as well. I think that's why probably Khabib, until obviously not everyone knew who he was, but when he fought McGregor, that's what really got him superstardom. But yeah, true. But he won everything.
Course, yeah.
So, but because he wasn't such a like explosive, exciting fighter, the whole that's the whole game now. It's not just about the fact that you can fight. You need to be able to market yourself and obviously all that sort of stuff, which kind of stems on to my next point, was to ask you about, because obviously what age are you again? It's 23, 24. So
I
like,
keep saying I just turned 24, and then I'm like, the year's actually creeping on.
Yeah.
I was 24 in January.
What age do you think I am?
25. What is it?
I just turned 21.
Oh, see, I was like, I'm going to be wrong either way. But 25 is a
Do
safe
you think I'm older? You thought I was older than you?
Yes.
it's the beard. It's the beard.
Ah, it's the beard.
It's the beard. I've seen pictures and videos of you without the beard, and
Do you
it's
know
definitely
baby face?
it's definitely the beard.
I'm a horrible judge of like age. I used to work in Sainsbury's, and I was 18 when I worked there, and you have to obviously ID people, and I was like, see if you get like a mystery customer and you get it wrong, you can get sacked.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to ID everybody.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, I don't have ID. I've got my 2 kids with me. And I was like,
My kids are 17.
my boss was like next to me, and I was like, "Look, mate, I'm sorry, but I've ID'd you and I need to follow through with this." And he was like, it's fine, I understand that he was pure annoyed. So next time he was in, I couldn't serve him like the wine or whatever. Next time he was in and he had his ID and he was 39. And I was just like, I was like, look, I hope you understand. But my boss eventually was saying like, oh, you could tell he was older. Like, you can't win. Can you? You know what I mean? Like, but that's how bad I'm at judging age.
I'll take
so
that. I'll take the 25.
dig in the hole.
Yeah.
I've completely made that story up to justify it.
But yeah, the point about age was the whole thing is obviously there's a time frame on MMA, and it's not a time frame of like a desk job or anything like that, which is like retirement age. It's far 30 years before that.
Yeah.
So like in terms of your plans for after it, have you got them, or are you working towards them, or are you just focusing on now? Or?
See, like just at that point that you touched on, like, and when you start, I remember my coach, like Ian. I hate saying like coach because these guys are like my friends as well.
Yeah.
Just kinda, I remember him talking about when you start training. See, the later you start, the less mistakes you can afford to make.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like if I started when I training when I was 4, and I'm going to keep going till I was 40, competing till I was 40. I've got like 36 years to make loads of mistakes, which is good and bad. But if I like my first fight when I was 20, I know that I need to work really hard. I need to the opportunity for mistakes can't be that much. I can't have like a 15-20 year career and then be like 20th year, but oh, that's what I should have done. So I need to try and escalate that learning period as much as I can. But afterwards, talking about like retiring already, I'm not even anywhere with that. But in a long term point, I'd like to like a lot of people like talking about like Guy or Ian or like Dean, like they've done a lot for me in the role that I'm in. I'd like to like pass that on to like the younger generation. And,
become
like,
a coach basically.
Become a coach, like
you do a bit of coaching.
I do coach.
Research, Sylvester.
It's it's actually really means a lot. But do you know what keeps me out? Social media. I'm like, you can Google my name and find out a lot about that. But it actually means a lot, honestly. So I would like to like keep on coaching and make that a focus, but again, talk about the younger generation, like make an impact and hopefully influence like younger kids. And like I talk about my experience when I was 16. Like, I don't want people to be in that predicament to start off with. So I'd like to have a part of coaching and pass on my experiences. Like I've got visions of being a world champion one day, so I want people to be like, how did you get there? And I'm like, oh, this is the route. I can try and help you if you want. And pass on any knowledge that I've got. You know.
You still want to be involved in the sport. And that sort of thing.
And I still keep training. Like that's the first thing that came to my head when you said, what do you want to do? Well, keep training. Like, you know, it's a sport for everyone of all ages. So even though I'm not competing, well, I wouldn't be fighting, but I'd like to think I still compete in jiu-jitsu and stuff because I'm a crazy competitive person.
Aye, definitely. No, because but then that also is like, how long does that go on for? Because like we were talking about like the damage that it could potentially have.
Yeah, of course.
Do you then you go up to your hands-on coach for a while, and then all of a sudden, right, I need to take my foot off the gas a little bit, and then just maybe have like train a couple of people at once and have them spar against each other, look at them and see what they're doing there, like, and adopt a totally different like coaching role rather than get punched every single day.
Well, that's it. Like again, you talk about it's trying to be intelligent. Like people think, they all say to me like, honestly, I'm not joking, I've had like 2 black eyes my whole life. One was off like Joanne Calderwood, and the other one, it was like a week before, I was like the night before a wedding actually. She elbowed me and I was like, I've not told half my family I train, I'm going to make up an excuse that I told them I was playing football. That's how I had the black eye. So, and then the other one was like getting punched in the head in a fight when I was on top of him. So that was the 2 black eyes I've had in under 5 years. I'd like to think I've not taken that much damage, and I know my career's just kind of getting started, but I like to think that I've got an intelligent approach where I'm like, I've actually got a brain cell and I want to improve my intelligence and not destroy it as it goes on. So it is about minimising and being smart about your training and getting the most out you can.
So touching on you saying that you want to be a world champion as well. What do you have over other people that are saying that? What do you think is within you? Because every champion needs to have something over the next guy.
Do you know what it is? I think my mind, because I was actually talking to... I talk a lot to a lot of people about it, but see, when I watch a lot of interviews and I read a lot of things online, and I'm watching these guys like McGregor or Demetrius Johnson, and I'm like, this is how I think. I'm like,
you can relate to the people at the top of the game.
And I'm like, I've had 10 fights, and even very early on in my career, I was like, the reactions that I have are, I remember like after my second fight, I won it by first round submission, but I was in the back after because I wanted to improve and how I finished the fight.
It's that pure addictive trait. Like you definitely need to have something to get to like a high level of anything. I think you need to become very self-motivated, obviously, but very self-centered in a way. Like as in like everything revolves around it. Because I know it's more a business perspective for me now, but every minute of the day, that's what I think about, and I can only imagine it's the same for a fighter. Everything's about that.
Definitely.
And I think you don't get anywhere going half-arsed with it.
No, not at all.
So
it's everything, and I bet you when you think about like your job, but it's an instinct though. It's not, alright, I must do this, it's like, I want to do this. I remember even I lost that fight last weekend and nobody told me to do it, but I was in the back and I was like, and I was like shadow boxing and drilling what I should have been doing, and my coach team was like, that was what GSP done. GSP's one of the best fighters of all time, and I'm like, well, I didn't even know that. I was like, that was an instinct. I mean, because it means a lot to me. But and there's loads of I could go on and on and on, and I just watch these interviews, and it sounds bad, but when I watch some interviews in the UFC, I'm like, you guys are amateurs. Who am I to say that, right? Like, I'm the amateur. But it's just and it's not trying to be ignorant. I'm just like, I'm thinking along the lines of guys who are classed as world champions, and I've only been doing this a handful of years. So what's it going to be like if I learn from them now and add to what I've got? What am I going to be like in 5 years?
I think that coupled with like a lot of persistence is going to pay dividend in the end. But I definitely think as well with MMA, I think potentially with boxing you would need to be a very special case in order to, because boxing is such a, it's almost like such an art. It's different to, it's very different to that, where you would need to start earlier in order to. I don't think you could go on it because MMA is so young in the sport. The kind of
evolution so quick. You can get better rapidly.
So you can start in your 20s and still make it to the top of the game. Whereas if you were to do that with boxing, I think it would be very, very difficult.
Definitely
to do that.
Takes like a special case.
Well, look at like Daniel Cormier. I know he was an Olympic level wrestler, but I'm sure, I don't know what, he was in the steadies when he had his first MMA fight. So how, and now he's like loved by everybody. He's like 2 division
KFC
champion, chicken and all sorts. But I know, like I said, I know he had a wrestling background before, but it's a different sport. And he's knocking people out now. So again, he started when he was late 30s.
I think that's, I guess, how. Well, we didn't actually. I don't think we have touched on that. Like how you got into MMA. You just went straight into MMA.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, of course.
Whereas normally people will maybe like, I'm not in MMA, but I started doing Thai boxing. But I'd done boxing for years. So you start off and you kind of get one thing, and then you might do judo or you do jiu-jitsu or you do something, and then all of a sudden you add in the striking or you add in the grappling or whatever, and then you build it up. But you just went straight into an MMA class.
So I remember I was like, I'm going to go and do MMA. And what led me to the Griphouse was one of the owners, Paul McVeigh. He's a former 2 times world champion, and
he's probably if it probably been a wee bit like later on, and the kind of, because obviously like Whiteford and Calderwood and stuff like that paved the way of the Scottish thing.
Definitely.
Whereas because it was such a young sport, I think probably he could have been a lot bigger than he was globally if it had been more mature.
I wasn't about at the time, but see the Griphouse and like another gym called like Higher Level and the unit, they call it the Dinkin Ninja Fight Team. The NFT were like the top fight gym in
Europe.
Fight team in Europe for years. Over like Conor McGregor's gym and like they were
everything.
The gym to be. So you look in that, just the UFC just wasn't about Scotland, and it's easy saying this because it's fictional, but see if the UFC, see if they all done that like 2 years later, I reckon that 5-6 of them would have been in the UFC competing at a very high level. But that's what led me to the Griphouse. I was like, wow, Paul McVeigh, he's going to be the next guy in the UFC. I want to train where he's training. And then I was like, I'm going to do MMA, and then I'd done MMA, and I was like, what's this Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu? Totally ignorant. I was like, I'm doing MMA. I'm an MMA fighter. And then you realise you're like,
oh wait, that's all these things combined.
So, because there's only 2 MMA classes at the Griphouse, and I was like, how do these people train all the time? Like, what they do?
But, just part timers.
I was like, I'm training more than. I was like, none of these fighters are at these classes.
Did you?
I was like, this is me. This is my chance to shine. But it's funny.
Do you think that there's a specific part of MMA, like fighting and the sport that you do, that's the most important, or not? It's very hard to answer, obviously, because there's so many different ways to win.
You want to say they're all important, but I personally feel if you don't have wrestling, then you can't be a world champ. Like, I'm not. I don't know. I'm just trying to like pinpoint one thing. Like, see if you look at the majority of the UFC champions, they're either coming from a wrestling background, or their wrestling defence is phenomenal.
It's not even just it's a wrestling defence or whatever, just to get out of the situation, to get back on your feet or whatever, even if you're not as strong at like
the
that sort of thing.
On the ground.
Even like Cormier, Jones, Khabib, and like you can go on and GSP, like they've either got fantastic wrestling or great wrestling defence. I'm not saying that's winning their fights, but it's going to dictate how the fight goes. So, and if you look at somebody like Brock Lesnar, I don't think he's I'm probably a better striker than Brock Lesnar, right? But if I was like 200 pounds heavier or whatever, I'd probably be able to fight. That's a headline.
That's a call out here. Brock, you heard it here
on
first.
Top, 18th of May. Fill me with all the chocolate.
Was that who called you out last week?
I've not confirmed or denied that. But so he's a UFC world champ. He got the UFC heavyweight belt by just being a fantastic wrestler and athlete. So, but if you went in there with phenomenal striking, top class striking, but you just get taken down all the wrestlers. So I feel one thing it would be your wrestling. I would say.
Obviously, there's obviously that entertainment factor as well. Like UFC, and I watched wrestling before, and I wasn't really actual following wrestling. It can be slow and stuff like that. And I was doing a film job one day, and it was with boys, and went to the Commonwealth Games in wrestling, and they were just doing some stuff for the camera, and I was like, wow, this is fun. But I said to him, like, is this how it is in competition? And he's like, no. He's like, very, very slow. And when I was watching the Khabib and McGregor fight, obviously it was kind of like that, and there was a lot of people on social media saying this is boring, this is that and all that. But myself, I don't know if I'm weird or I'm different for them or whatever, but I enjoyed that. Whereas before,
it takes a lot to see that, to be honest.
Like that skill was just like super high level for Khabib.
Of course,
The
thing is as well is this is probably, I don't actually watch a lot of fights. Like, see, like
that's what I was going to ask you as well.
I do watch fights, right? Probably more than the average person.
But you're focusing on yourself.
But I watch my fights more than anything. Like my last fight's got like 24,000 views, right, already, and I think I've
20,000 of them.
So you're banned from viewing it.
And my mum's the other for it. So, but
that's the thing though. Like, so I hadn't asked. What did your family think? Can they watch your fights? Do they come and watch your fights?
Like, my family are real supportive. They're amazing. Like, they're like, you love this. You're good at it. We'll be there for you. They were all like, you're going to do what? Like, are you mad? What? Are you joking me? Like I said, they said that doesn't seem the person you are. And then they see the fight, and see how happy it makes me, and see the opportunities it's open for me. And I told my mum, she was just like a typical. She was like, oh, I'm not sure. I remember actually saying to her when I was in school, waiting in school, I was like, I'm going to do a boxing gym. She was like, oh son, I can't drive you, and she was just like, she didn't want me to go, and I was like, right, I'll go when I leave school, because then you, and she was like, oh well, and she was just trying to get hurt. And then when I went to tell her that I was going to quit my job and do it, I didn't even finish my sentence, and she was like, do it. She was just like, go do it. She was like, can you afford to pay? I was like, I don't know what the money will be like. I don't know, I think it's going to be rough. And she's like, can you afford to get to the gym and your gym memberships? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, that's all that matters.
I think that's it. Like, as long as you're happy in what you do, and you can pay for your happiness, then that's all that matters. I think because like there's so many people, in terms of like, we're kind of moving away a wee bit from MMA, but like more along the job aspect side of things, there's so many people that would jump, like throw people under the bus and move, like work just for an extra $3,000 a year or something like that, and they were actually quite happy at their current job, but because a wee bit more money, and it just totally, it changes the whole dynamic of work, when work should really, I love my job. Like, technically this is part of my job, and I love doing all this sort of stuff, and there's this pure weird thing that people think that you need to like not enjoy your job. Oh, I hate work, I can't wait for the weekend, but there's so much of your week that you're dreading, so like that's so much of your life, and you only get one life, so I find that just silly. Like, so go and enjoy your life.
Actually, I've got a point to do with my mum and sister after this, but I remember speaking to my gran, and it was years ago, and I said to her, I was like, I got offered overtime. I used to visit my gran on a Monday and a Tuesday. Every Monday and Tuesday, me and my younger sister would go and get our dinner at my gran. Shout out to my gran. And I remember saying to her, I was like, oh, I got offered overtime today, but I didn't take it because I come and visit you. And she's like, oh, thanks. And it just led her on to say she used to work like 3 jobs, work so much, and she said, you know what, it's not worth it. Because when you get to the end of your life, you want to look back and spend all the time, and like that was like one of her bits of advice, and it always stayed with me. And I'm like, money just can't put a price, and it's cheesy, but it can't put a price on the memories that you're going to spend that time. It's different if you need the money, right? But you're going to spend that time on like taking away from your family just for some other person to make money off you. But that was one of the bits of advice that my gran, I always remember. And
that's coming from someone who's actually lived a life. It's not coming from someone like a 20-year-old life coach sort of thing.
But in terms of like to go back to the answer about my family, like my mum and my sisters and then my girlfriend, like they deserve a lot of credit, because sometimes I'm too tired to like they'll be telling me about their day, and I'm just like exhausted from training, and I'm like just focused on getting home, getting something to eat, and want to go to my bed. So they deserve a lot of credit for putting up with that, putting up with that side of it, because I like to think it's I don't like admitting this, but it's very selfish of me. Like all I do is train, all I do is go to the gym, and in return they need me, and sometimes I can't really give them the emotion that sometimes they deserve. So that's and on that side they're still so supportive. So it's amazing.
I mean, to touch on that though, if you weren't happy, you wouldn't be the same sort of person. So you would almost be like, at least the times when they do get you and they see you happy, that's going to make them happy. Whereas if you weren't happy and you're doing a job you didn't like and all that sort of stuff, they would be trying to get you towards doing something you were happy with anyway. So it's pros and cons to both, but I definitely think that the pure, like, the fact that you're happy is going to make them happy.
And like I say this, right, people are going to be like, he's pure. I'm not even like Mona, but to me, like, I know what I can give, like, and I just feel like maybe I let them down sometimes, because I'm like, I'm so tired, can I just like go to my bed, or I'm just like being really harsh on myself. But like my younger sister jokes and being like, you've not actually been that grumpy this fight, Cam, and kind of thing. But I was like, I don't know if that's me or because you're used to it now. So but my family are amazing, like really, really good.
See, to go back to the whole job situation, I think it correlates with a lot of different stories. Did you enjoy your job? No.
Well, to be honest,
you enjoy it as much as this?
No.
So see, when you were doing that, how hard was it for you to decide right, I'm going to transition and take this chance?
So I don't see when people say like, what do you do as a job? I'm like, yeah, I'm like an MMA fighter, and it's because I'm like, this isn't a job though. Like that's so cheesy.
Passion.
It doesn't feel like a job because my girlfriend always says, "Oh, are you away to work?" I'm like, I don't work. I'm like, I don't work.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, are you unemployed then? I'm like that. Right, I'm not unemployed. I don't work. I was like, and I was like, I'm going to training or I'm going to help my mates by coaching. Or I'm going to help some. I was like, word it differently because work. I'm like, I don't work.
Because work has like that negative connotation behind it these days,
and it implies like, see, this wouldn't happen. But see, if I want a month off, I can get a month off. Guy or Ian or like the people that I technically work for will be like, cool, no worries. And I'm like, are you not going to like shit at me or that? And I'm like, I'll be 5 minutes late. Cool, no worries. I'm like, you're not going to. And it's like, shit, you're like, but obviously, like, I'll be at the gym anyway. So when I worked in Sainsbury's, I used to work 16 hours. I used to work 4 nights a week, and I changed. I can't get sad to that, so I can tell this story. Right? So I was like, yeah, I've got uni now. So, and I wasn't uni, I got doing stuff. I was like, I need to change my uni is going to get in the way of my shifts. Which they're legally obliged to kind of accommodate me. So I was like, oh, I'm in uni these days, so they changed my hours to 8 hours. So now I could train.
Right, okay.
And then I got to a point where one of my shifts was my Friday. And I wanted to train the Friday, so again I said my timetable changed, and then it got to a point where I was giving one of my shifts away every week, and I must have lost out on half my wages. I just wanted to train though. And then I got a full-time graduate job, and my boss kept wanting me to do overtime, and I was like, no, not doing overtime. I would come in with this like big massive bag with hundreds of boxing gloves and shin guards. I wouldn't even have space for my laptop sometimes, and I would just take him giving me a lecture. I would work from home without him to help. I was a liability to the company, but I wanted to just train. That's all I wanted to do. And I was like, he let me work from home, and then I just kept working from home, being at the gym, and barely doing my work and stuff. And I was miserable at one point because it was taking so much time away from me training. I was like, I can't do this the rest of my life. I want to be a fighter full time. And I was like, I don't care about the money. I was like, I'm handing my notice in. And I done it, handed my notice in, and
no look back since.
I think that's the thing though, like you can definitely live a very, very simple life and still be like really, really happy if you're doing what you enjoy. It doesn't really matter what, like, we're kind of repeating ourselves, I guess. We're talking about the extra 3 to 5 grand a year and people jumping shit, but it's such an important point that people just don't. It's not really talked about enough.
And even if you look at, like, see if you really want, I didn't start this for the money, but I know that I need money to survive because I want in the future, like, and
once you're not fighting,
in the grand scale of things, I want to have a pension, I want to have kids, I want to have I want to get married, like I want genuine things in life. But my priority now is to be a world champion. But I know through that journey, I still need to earn money. So money, you still need to, like, even if it's 10%.
Money's going to help you as well.
Exactly.
In terms of buying food and all that.
And it's going to make things easier. So if 10% of my motivation is worth the money, then I'll spend 10% of my time and being like, how can I improve my brand? How can I get more money by being genuine and stuff? And if you can do what you love all the time and you can earn money, then you're winning, aren't you? Like,
because how much do like sponsors and stuff help? Like,
massive, like crazy amounts.
Because then what have you got, like supplement sponsors and?
There's like people who sponsor me with. I've got a security company sponsor me, a scaffolding company.
Go on, give them a plug with some.
I've actually got a t-shirt. I'll just strip off.
There we go.
But so in terms of sponsorship, so like physiotherapist, talk about soreness. That's helping. On that note, a CBD company, UFO Biolabs, again helping with inflammation, helping with sleep. Ian Barclay Photography, a fantastic photographer who is also an amazing guy, but an amazing businessman. Who's like good to be friends
helps
with.
You promote your brand and yourself as a fighter, which then kind of leads into other paths and potentially other companies see like bigger promotions, Bellator, UFC or something.
then you got a security company, SharpDiv Security. So obviously my house does not get broken into now. But and then you've got a scaffolding company like DMAX Scaffolding. So again, all these businesses are different. But and then the barbers, like Rain Dog Barbers.
Yeah.
Going off on a tangent, I'm like forgetting the businesses.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's great to have like a fresh haircut and good haircut and stuff, playing my hair here. But all these people are successful businessmen and they're good friends, and they'll create opportunities for me financially, but they'll also create opportunities for me just in general. So sponsors are huge.
What would you say to like some people out there that have maybe made the same jump as yourself but are struggling financially to stay afloat in terms of getting sponsors and stuff? Because obviously it's another world, you're fighting and that's what you do, but behind that there's obviously a lot of stuff in the business side of it too. So like it's not about I don't go out and chase. It's not like I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go and get sponsors. Like the sponsors kind of come to you to see something in you, and my advice to anyone who wants to, you can't be like, don't quit your job and be like, I'm going to do this, and you've got no kind of...
You get nothing.
Nothing.
You just jump in 100%.
You've got no... Like, is this definitely going to work or whatever? I can't say this. I quit my job off 2 fights, right? But I just had so much belief. I was like, I can make this work. But not only my sponsors, but I've got coaches who, when I told them about it, they're like, look, we'll try and create opportunities for you. I talk about my mum. My mum is like, I'll help you, son, don't worry. And you need to have a team of people, because what good are you to yourself if you're absolutely broke? You can't even afford to get to the gym. And how's that going to affect your fights? You need to kind of have you've got to have a great team of people around you, and that belief to keep winning fights and keep getting probably being a good person as well.
How important is that framework for you?
That what? Sorry.
How important is that framework for you? Your family, your coaches, sponsors, and all that.
Every fight, like my phone blows up all the time. Like I couldn't believe it. If I lost, right, you're thinking nobody's going to message me, and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is crazy. The amount of people, and I know to somebody it only takes 2 seconds to send a message, right? But that's 2 seconds out somebody's day that they're coming to help me. Whether they're buying tickets, whether they're paying for like tuning into like this podcast, like that means a lot. So the network of people I have around me is growing, but it's not really about the number, it's about how the effort that people are making. So it really means a lot.
Totally. See, even to go back to when you're talking about your mum, and that day where she said basically just go for it. How did that make you feel?
So I always when I was in high school and stuff, I played football. Again, I wasn't that good. I was fast. I tried really hard, but I would just get pushed. See, if I had the ball, you would just like blow a bit of wind at me and I'd be off. Right? I was not strong at all. And I told her, I was like, I'm going to be a footballer, and she's like, her advice was, you can do whatever you want, just get an education behind you. Because if you go out and break, this is what she said, right? If you go out and break your leg tomorrow, you need to have a backup plan. So I was like, right, okay, and obviously that football dream, I still think, see if I went to like a football game, I still think they would call my name and be like, do you want to go on the pitch? That's the way I think. So the football dream died, right? But it never was a dream. It never was realistic. And then I said after, I'm going to be an athlete. Don't know how, don't know what, but I'll be an athlete somehow. And that always echoed in my mind, get an education and then you can do what you want. So I got my degree in business, and when I said to her, I was like, look Mum, I think I might quit my job, and you know how I've got my degree and I think I might quit my job and start, and I couldn't even say it, and she went like, go for it. I was like, you don't know what I'm going to say? And she said, there's only one thing you could physically say to me right now. And I was like, I made a joke of it, I said, but I got my degree, didn't I? And she was like, yeah, but you won't need it. And she was like, you never need to, don't go and get another job, don't go and go for a plan B, this is your plan A, you're going to go and do it. And I was like, right, I can't even have down then.
So now that you've said that, like, I'm just going to go and do this. You know what I mean? But having, if she had her doubts and she's like, oh, son, I don't know, the way she was when I told her about football, I'd be like my mum knows, she sees everything behind the scenes. So she knows how much I talk about it, how much she's like, I don't watch TV anymore, I just watch fighting interviews or fight
fights.
Yeah, everything's about it. I think it's definitely like there's a definitely an addiction there, but in a positive way. But it's like it's power of visualization as well. Like you talk about being a world champion. To everyone else that might be like that might be cool, like as in like looking at you saying that and be like cool, but in your head it's almost probably already happened. It's just a matter of time of waiting because you've visualised it so strongly.
Definitely, like I can't help but see if I watch fights or if I've been to the UFC and stuff, I can't help but be like, close my eyes and be like, they're going to say your name. And it's like I remember when I defended the belt the first time, that belt, and the announcer was like, in the reigning, defending, and in my mind I went UFC world champion of it. And that's what I was thinking. And you see me in the video and I go and I laugh and I'm like that, you're not. I'm like, oh, and I've got pure butterflies thinking of it, but that's just the way you're like. So see when it actually happens, I've got this visualised. Like I visualise myself being like, this is so natural and this is the way it was meant to be, whereas people can let the moment take over them. So it's definitely like seeing yourself there. I've actually got pure butterflies thinking about that, but
so bad.
It's even just to have the confidence to, because for a while I always thought it, but I was like, I can't even tell people.
I can't say that.
But then you look on it long term. See when there's this wee blip of like McGregor says, I'm going to be.
Without a doubt, I'll be in the UFC in the very near.
I'm not trying to be like Conor McGregor. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to be. But I'm like.
But I think you can resonate with it.
Yeah, and like this, like a wee glimpse of this podcast and be like see that belief I had. I said it out loud, and I had the confidence to say it. And I know it's going to happen. So if I'm thinking it, why would I not just tell you? Because if I've not got the confidence to say it, then where does that belief go?
At the end of the day, if you don't believe that, why are you even in the game?
Exactly.
And see, like with visualization as well, speaking about like visualizing and stuff, how much do you do that? And to even go back to the whole McGregor situation, I know we spoke about him a good wee bit, but he is so outspoken and outlandish and stuff. But see when you see him in the fight, it's almost like he's experienced that before. See when he's like no get the upper hand and stuff, it's almost like he's visualised maybe that, even though he says I'm winning this and that. How much do you visualise stuff?
Lots. Like when I was warming up for my last fight, I remember saying to my coaches, I was like, I can visualise, I can actually see myself landing the shots that I'm thinking of, but I'm not even thinking about I don't see a fight, I'm not seeing him there, I just see me doing it. But when I'm training for a fight, I'm not thinking about hand raise, knockout in 10 seconds. I'm like thinking getting knocked out, getting submitted, getting dropped, coming back from adversity, as well as all the good things, making weight. So when I go in the cage, I'm like rubbing my feet, I'm like grabbing the cage, I'm putting my face against the cage, like when I'm feeling the cage out, and like, what are you doing? I'm like that. I need to experience this before I get it in combat, before you get put up against the fence and you're like, whoa, this cage feels weird. Okay, I know this cage feels weird because I just felt it about 2 hours ago. So it's about feeling and getting comfortable with the environment that you're competing in.
I think that's the thing though, that potentially, like, even just that small thing that probably will stand you apart from everyone else, like the fact that you're just doing that. Like everyone else, we're talking about just focus on cutting weight, and then probably just a few hours go by and they're like, right, I'm fighting in a wee bit. Whereas you're talking about like visualising it and feeling the cage and all that. Like that's the like small intricate details that probably make the big difference between the people that kind of just do alright and the people that obviously become like world champions.
And it's like there's loads of things like with when things go wrong, whether it be training, competing, or the weight cut. Like I've had times in weight cuts where I'm like, this is not going the way I planned. But what keeps you through it is like, you visualise, you anticipated this happening. Not everything's going to be like, talking about being a world champion. I might go on a 3-4 fight losing streak. It's just part of, and I anticipate
it's part of the process.
See if it doesn't happen, fantastic, well done. My first K1 fight, a kickboxing fight, I went into like to do this to like improve my stand up, and a lot of people behind the scenes were like, don't think you should do this, because I was a grappler, and then I ended up fighting somebody with like 9 kickboxing fights, and usually people go into a kickboxing debut and it's to win, they're doing it to win, whereas I've been thrown in the deep end, right? And they're like, you don't think that's a good idea? And I'm like, nah, it's a good idea, and I was terrified though, and I went into the fight and I was like, you're probably going to lose this fight, right? but make it a great fight. Get a great performance.
You thought that in your head?
Yeah, and I was like, if there's going to be a fight that you're losing, then it's actually okay to lose this one because you're doing it to show how good you are, whether you win or you lose. And walking out, it was like, I was real proper up for the fight. Everything was great, but we talk about that visualising. He caught my kick and I slipped. He didn't drop me or whatever, but I slipped and I done like a backwards roll and I just went and I laughed. I was like, that's just like you thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
That you said that was going to happen. I eventually won by knockout.
Yeah.
And it was my best performance to that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, I broke it down. I was like, I think that was your best performance because you had an honest representation of what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might lose, but so like if you don't lose, then he loses. Like if you lose, somebody's going to lose.
So yeah.
So accept that. Accept that you'll get hit because it's a fight. Accept that you might fall over. Accept all these things and visualise it. So when it happens, it's like comfortable. It's not. Like crap. I actually like swearing, and I know my mum will watch this and she'll be like, "Why did you swear in that?"
You can swear in this, but I guess if it's for your mum, then that's a different ballgame.
But yeah, visualise is super important. Like really huge part.
So that's us well over an hour now. So finishing touches. The only thing I've not really, well, we have kind of spoke about it a bit and where you plan to go. We've spoke about where you plan to go with the future, but like in terms of like the kind of near future, apart from you defending your belt, is there a time frame for you going pro? And like, cause obviously the difference between amateur and pro is like the ground and pound and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
like
just the extra, the
just a
rounds are
tight,
bit longer
yeah.
There's a couple of extra to like,
but like,
the elbow and stuff.
Are you in any rush, or are you just kind of feeling out? Or
If like again we talk about not everything always goes to plan. So I've got my eyes set on going pro, but towards the end of the year.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be September, October, November, December, anytime towards the end of the year. But again, there's no rush. See if it doesn't happen, it'll happen next year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of where my eyes are set on right now. So.
Yeah, cool. So
one thing that I was quite interested in with yourself, how do you deal with adversity? How do you deal with maybe getting dropped for the first time? Have you been dropped in a fight before?
See the fight I won the title, I was so excited. I was like, I'm fighting for a title. This was so many opportunities going to come from you. I was like, you're going to win, you're going to this. And then I ran out at the start of the fight and just walked into a punch. And as soon as I got dropped, stood up, there was like 10 of him. And like I got concussed, like out of the game, and I was like, right, focus now. Like you can't afford to get hit like that again. So it's just, I don't really know if you can train your brain to react. Talk about instinct. Like my instinct was to keep going and keep fighting. So like, anytime I've got been put in a bad position, it's just to stay relaxed, stay comfortable, and get your way out of it. Really. So like the instincts kick in. If that answers your question.
It does indeed. It does indeed.
So I think that's what I think we're coming across some technical difficulties. So we'll probably finish it up here so that we're not.
Yeah, that was great.
So we've got everything and we can put it all together. So thanks for coming, and I'm sure we'll probably have you on again with another belt.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then maybe we'll
things to say.
maybe we'll get a spar before you get too good.
We'll get video. We'll do that, a behind the scenes video.
Yeah, I'll video that. I'm not getting interested in that.
And I'll sub in Guy just in case anything happens. Guy's like, what? I get enough. People are going to be like, who is this guy? Like one of the nicest people you ever meet, but it's so dangerous.
I know, mental. It's a funny thing. Like everyone, I know we're meant to finish the podcast, but like everyone that I've met in the fighting community is just so nice. Yeah. Other than people that think they're fighters and then come into a fighting gym and then get battered and then like, oh shit, and it's like humbles them.
I met someone. You're like, we need to finish. I'm like, but somebody,
just keep going.
There's someone, I can't really remember the details of the story, but he was like, oh yeah, I'm a fighter. He didn't know who I was, right?
Do you know who I am?
He was like, yeah, I'm a fighter. If I'd like this fight. And I was like, and I was like, oh right, nice one, cool, blah blah. And he was like, we were on a night out with my girlfriend, her friends and stuff, and he was like, nice t-shirt, mate. Right, we had this like kind of similar t-shirt. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, you too. And he was like, yeah, if we had, it's not the same one. If we had the same one, but you'd have had to take your t-shirt off. And I was like, yeah, cool, mate. No worries. I was like, this guy's trying to get rid of me. And my girlfriend's like, he's trying to get by the so, and he was like, he just kept making digs, and her friend was like, he's an MMA fighter, and and he's like, where do you train? And like, for a while, and I was like, oh, just at the Griphouse. And I was like, avoid, and he was like, oh, I've heard of them. You had any fights? And I was like, yeah, I've had 7, like, at the time. And he was like, you won any? I was like, yeah, won them all, right? And I'm just trying to shut this guy off, and he's like, alright, just like, do you like MMA? And he just like changed his tune completely. And I was like, yeah, I don't mind MMA, but you were about to pick on me if I never had a fight.
Yeah,
you're a horrible person. And the rest of the night he was like trying to ask me questions and stuff, and I was just like, you're not getting any of my energy tonight. And I was like, it just shows you though, like, if he never asked those questions, he was like threatening to take me outside to beat me up and that. It's like, wow. And then my girlfriend was just like pure looking at him the whole night like this.
He's got some front.
But I hope it'd be funny if he was watching this. But yeah, it just shows you, like, people don't know.
Nah, not at all.
Brilliant. End it there?
End it there before.
To be continued?
Yeah, definitely.
Part 1.
Alright. So, we'll see you in the next podcast, guys. Remember to comment if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening, please give it a rating on iTunes or Spotify. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.
See you later.
Brilliant. Excellent. Enjoyed that. What happened with the camera?
I couldn't get the battery home.